Hello everyone, welcome to Buche Games. We are hopping back into Undusted. Just a little disclaimer, I started recording this video and then realized the screen wasn't recording, so I am re-recording. And so you may see some of the objects that are already cleaned, but we'll re-clean them and we'll go through the story so that you guys get caught up, and I hope you still enjoy, but let's hop in. The broken pocket watch. Its time remains eternally frozen, just like my family's. I had hoped to find the attic key in the living room, but it didn't turn up. I decided to search my room next. It looked exactly as it did the day I left home. Only the thick layer of dust on everything indicated any passage of time. My focus was drawn to my desk, where Dad's pocket watch lay. There used to be a time when its cogs still turned and its soft ticking could still be heard. When Mom gave Dad this pocket watch, he was delighted with the engraved design. A lily, just like Mom's name. Wherever Dad went, so too did the pocket watch. Shortly after I started high school, the pocket watch fell silent for good. Dad, how are you doing? You still cracking jokes over there? I don't think I'm doing that well. Oh, did you get the dust off first? Dora, how many times have I told you to not call the office directly? I just... You're usually back by now and I couldn't get in touch with you. Oh, I'm sorry. I got caught up with work and completely lost track of time. I'll make sure to check my phone more often from now on. But please, text instead of call. Alright. Oh yeah, Mom, I was cleaning my room earlier and I found the cassette player Dad gave me. I'm sorry, Adora, but I still have a lot of work to do. Don't wait for me, and make sure you don't go to bed too late. Mom, wait, Broken pocket watch. Its time remained eternally frozen, just like my family's. I desperately needed Mom, but she threw herself into work as if she wanted to forget Dad, and maybe all of us. Days passed and we barely spoke to or even saw each other. Kept telling myself I had to try to understand her, that she was raising me all by herself now, but my grief and sorrow grew nearly unbearable as they rendered my nights sleepless. Things would have been much easier if I had just blamed her. Yet, whenever I saw Mom so exhausted and fatigued, sadness came before anger. I hated her for leaving me alone, but at the same time it pained me to see her eroding away. As much as I longed for her comfort, I wanted to comfort her too. When I couldn't stand the silence in the house, I would listen to Dad's tapes. Listening to the songs made it feel like he was right there beside me. One day, I heard a composer tell his story on a radio show. When I was a kid, my father used to hum songs he had wrote himself, so I became interested in music. I hardly saw him after my parents divorced, but whenever I sang his songs, I felt like I was back in those happy childhood days. That's how I started composing. For me, it's a way of bringing comfort not only to me, but to others in similar circumstances. I could see myself in his story, and his song resonated with me. Naturally, I admired him. Finally, I understood what Dad meant. I wanted to tell him I'd found something I couldn't live without doing. I found a part-time job and started saving money for composing tools. When Mom asked about it, I thought she was finally taking some interest in my life. I think it still works. Should I turn it on now? Get these little pieces here. Mom, you're late again. You must be exhausted. Yes, a little. How was your day? Dora, what are all those things? Oh, these? A MIDI controller, a microphone. They're tools for composing. By composing, do you mean composing music? Uh-huh. I started making songs little by little, and I got a part-time job to buy these tools myself. Wait, Adora, a part-time job? You started working just for a hobby? Adora, you need to be studying hard for your future right now. Don't waste your time on things like that, and quit your part-time job too. A Red MIDI controller, the first piece of music equipment I ever bought with my own money. I wanted to tell her that it wasn't just a hobby, that I was serious. But before I could say anything, Mom said she was tired and headed towards her room. My words were met with the sound of her door closing shut. I was left alone in an all too familiar silence. I was angry at Mom for not listening to my words, but I kept trying to understand her. I thought she might change her mind if I showed her how serious I was. Much like how music had comforted me, I wanted Mom to feel comforted too, and if possible, with a song of my own creation. After that day, I spent every spare moment composing. Not only was it my first song, but it was a song for Mom. When I felt that I had poured enough of my heart into it, I recorded my song into a cassette tape. I fervently hoped that it would bring her some comfort. Even if I couldn't fully convince her, if I could at least help her feel a little bit better. When Mom came back home, exhausted as usual, I nervously handed her the tape. I thought if Mom listened to it, she would understand how serious I was. You composed this yourself? Yeah, the melody came to me first, so I started with that. I'm still working on the lyrics. Oh, and there's another one I'm preparing for a competition. The theme is. Hold up. Adora, didn't I tell you last time? You need to focus on your studies. Mom, I know it might seem like only a hobby right now, but please, can you at least try listening? Adora, do you even hear what you're saying? How can you waste your time on this instead of studying for your future? I'm tired, so let's talk another time. Another time? When's that gonna be? When you quit your job? As if that will happen. Adora, I'm saying this for your sake. I'm serious about becoming a composer. I want to make it so you don't have to worry about money anymore. And people said I'm pretty talented, so Adora, I said no. Don't even think about it. Right now, you may feel like you're special. Talented? There's no word more meaningless. Don't get carried away because of a mere compliment. Praise proves absolutely nothing. Dad's cassette player. Despite how old it is, it can still play tapes. Why was she so angry? Was she more tired than usual? Even now, I still don't know why Mom reacted so explosively. I never expected her to yell at me like that. Her fury left me speechless. While I was stunned, she tore the tape from my hand and threw it into the trash. Without so much as a backward glance, she said, "Stop wasting your time on worthless things like this." What she threw away wasn't only a cassette tape. Therein was a piece of my heart that held my drive to comfort Mom, despite the loneliness after Dad's passing. Even if hating her was the easier path, I didn't give up trying to understand her. But at that moment, when my heart was equated to trash, I felt something disappear from inside me. After Mom's rage quelled and silence fell once again, I finally gave up trying to understand her. The music box was the last present I ever received from Dad. Whenever I felt lonely, I would wind it up and talk to him as if he were right beside me. Dad, if you're still there. Dad, if you were still here. You would have supported me, right? Mom doesn't understand what it's like to have a dream, to have something you can't live without. All she wants to do is fit into the mold. That's probably the only kind of life she knows. I cried for a long time, pouring out my anguish. Listening to the music box play, it felt like Dad was sitting right next to me. After that day, I stopped waiting for Mom. I didn't even want her to talk to me anymore. I had nothing to say to her. Dora, can we talk for a minute? I'm busy right now. I'm sorry for how I acted. I must have been tired, so I got emotional. But it was for your sake, Adora. I don't want you to suffer. Right now, things may seem fun and exciting, so you might think that the road ahead will be easy. Someday you'll understand. For now, it would be better if you focused on your studies and kept composing as a hobby. Now I get why you're saying these things. You've never had anything you've truly wanted to do, have you? All you've ever done is live by other people's standards. That's why you don't understand how serious I am, and what it's like to have something you can't live without. If Dad were here, he would have understood me. At least he wouldn't have thrown away my tape like that. It wasn't anything like you. Music box that plays after you wind it. The last gift Dad ever gave me. I deliberately chose the words that would have hurt her most. I thought I had the right to since she was the one who hurt me first. Mom said nothing during my verbal onslaught. Her silence only fueled my rage, so my words became harsher, crueler, and more vicious. Mom quietly took my wrath. After the room fell silent, she left without a single word. Left alone, I picked up the music box and said to myself, "It's okay. That was nothing compared to what she did to me." It was a peaceful weekend afternoon. I started to doze off after putting stickers all over Dad's camera. In my half-awake state, I could faintly make out Mom and Dad's voices as they quietly talked. I wanted to keep listening to their conversation, but before long I fell asleep. Dad used to take pictures of me and Mom whenever he could. Looks like it still might work if I charge it. I'll try turning it on after cleaning it. Adora, did you finish your homework? Shh, she fell asleep after playing with the camera again. She really does love it. She's interested in so many things, like music and writing. I guess the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, huh? I only hope that she doesn't become like me. You still have regrets about back then? You know, I thought you were so beautifully radiant. It's all in the past now. I was naive and foolishly chasing what was only a dream. Now I'm awake and live in reality. Let's not talk about this anymore, alright? Alright. And now a discontinued digital camera. It is decorated with stickers that I had stuck on as a child. The camera contained a recording I'd never seen before. Had I pressed the record button while I was asleep? The slanted video captured a long conversation between Mom and Dad. I found it difficult to understand. The mom I knew had always seemed so ordinary. Suddenly I realized that perhaps the words I had aggressively thrown at her that day meant more than I had thought. The moment I kept playing over and over in my mind. How silently she stood before my anger. How silently she had left the room, followed only by the sound of a door closing. Okay, I'm gonna end the episode here. Um, Thank you guys for joining. I hope you're enjoying the story. It's a very sad but very very good story. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll catch you in the next one. Until then, take care, guys. Bye.